All right, guys, this is going to be a quick video on the indicator of the volume profile and how to use it on the 1 minute chart while scalping. So I've had a lot of questions on this one, and this is what we main on our top 5 systems to trade here with moving averages, deviation, VWAPs, and volume profiles, and especially gaps, of course. But I want to go over just a few things now on volume profile, high-lows, and how you can use the extension markers as the day develops, right? So volume area high is considered, right, overbought, volume area low, oversold. The middle is what we call the point of control and or the highest volume traded thus far at the point of control. And I use this on just a 1-day, 1-minute chart. This is the standard, nothing but color changes to any of the settings. So there's nothing special going on here. So for my scalps on the 1 minute specifically, what this video is going to be about, short and sweet, is whenever the price action has reached an overbought volume area high or past, or a volume area low or past, you have an opportunity to trade that the opposite way. When you start compounding indicators on top of each other, you are getting a stronger sentiment to that trade. So when we have a volume area high breach of resistance that pushes into a pre-market high, very pinnacle level, that pushes into a +2 VWAP extension of overbought of 2 deviation outside of regular, you have a great scenario of adding, right? So you have a double top scenario from pre-market high as well, so on and so forth, or patterning. If you look at some of the other indicators here, what do we see coming up into this first volume area high and second and third? Let's look at our indicator from the bottom on the 1 minute scalps. We have 1 big buy wave on the MAC, 2 is small. So we know something's coming up. And when this pressure comes in, we have an opportunity to assume the opposite, right? Because these are lagging indicators. So here on this push up on the sell 845 and above, this push was more fake because we had a lot less buyers than the wave prior on the histogram. That's number one. Number two, we have a little bit of an RSI lower low dip. So if you look at the RSI track, even though the price action is doing a higher low to higher high, the RSI has already told you here with a low break, we're only catching temporary support off the halfway point, which is 50, because I like to see the price action above or below the 50 on the RSI. That's how I use it as trend. If something would be trending in the top, it'd be an uptrend. If it sticks to the 50 in the top, obviously inverted. If it's down under the 50 and going to the 30 back and forth, it is a downtrend, and it keeps resetting at the 50 level. Okay, so that's work. Check out our RSI, how to use it in the channel indicators as well. So as we're stacking those indicators, we have great lower low, great histogram small, the cross, and we knew it was coming for a potential trade because we were coming into pre-market highs, VWAP, above volume area high. So we scalped that one. And a lot of people ask me, well, where's your target? Well, the first part of the target also is always back to POC, which is the highest trade point. So the red right here is what I have it as, is your POC. So when we're shorting and shorting and shorting above the volume area high, I am out at the POC, at the POC, at the POC, and then inadvertently at the same exact time. Let's look at it in an inverse for the long side. Here, we tagged a pretty nice 666 back test. So we're going to stack catalyst, 666 1 minute support, right? Very close to the plus or -2 rather, VWAP in the blue. So 2 deviations under VWAP. You have the RSI coming out of a lower low. So again, we could pop back up to the 50 before continuing. And we have the MAC showing you that we're getting a cross in consolidation. So this whole thing is kind of an ugly consolidation, but we have a cross at about 935, 940 here on the moving averages. And it usually goes back to the center line of the MAC as the RSI goes back to the 50 point. So 50 resistance and 0 line for the MAC resistance. Okay. And that's what caused the next pull down. But if you went long at volume area low and you were out at POC, there it is. Now, again, using the POC and VWAP as a halfway point, because this is the regular volume weighted average price in the purple, -2 is blue, +2 is orange. Look at this, another big extension. We actually went cold on this RSI, which is very good, and pre-market lows. So look at this next trade from POC all the way into a dip past volume area lows into the pre-market open, which is a level I like to watch a lot of the time, 499.17. That's pre-market's first tick. We have pre-market low, which is just below it. We have -2 VWAP, and we have a very big price level right here, gold level 499.29. So with that being said, RSI is oversold. MAC is going to come for the cross by 10:15. This is a long scenario back to POC. So we are again under volume area low and back to POC. Imagine that. And then again, broke through the POC, volume area low, back over and caught back to volume area high. Now, all you got to do is use your intraday indicators here to navigate a switch like this. Okay, so a switch like this, you notice what about your oscillation indicators on the bottom? Why are we going now to the top VWAP and we're not going to go oversold back to the blue again, right? We're going to go top channel. What did I just say about the RSI? We have recovered the 50 waypoint on the RSI. We have recovered the 0 point on the MAC, which means on the 1 minute chart, we have an opportunity to do what? Head up, right? And what are we above now? 666 moving average. I like that. High or low off that. Good consolidation. Buyer beat. That's another catalyst on indicators that we use. There are buyers in control since about 10:57 a.m. Larger volume close, and then holds the POC. The POC is now support. And where do we go from the top side? Well, we're in the top channel of the RSI. We just got done talking about that. We're in the top channel of the MAC. We just got done talking about that. So POC being my stop out range where I would want to see some trend under POC to stop, I need to be above POC to push to what? The next extension, right back to volume area high. And what did it do here? Right back to the pre-market high. And again, a really big travel. But let's look at again, one more, last one from overextension volume area highs. Right? And we hope to get down to POC as a target. And how would we know to short this? Well, let's look at our oscillation indicators. From 1130, we have a swap of moving averages and continuous selling pressure coming back down to what? The 0 line to the MAC. So we need to come back down to the 0 line. We are high up here. Okay, next one, indicator, RSI. Looked at a little push, little top, but what does that tell you? That's still a lower high. High, lower high, and pretty much double top, lower high there for the RSI. Then it started to crack back down. One crack, confirmation of lower high, right? And look at that, broke the 50, lower high, broke the 50, lower high, all the way down to reset. And this will come to, I know it's really confusing, the POC, right? Or at least close to. I get in my trades early and out my trades early. So I would have been shorting into these pops right here above volume area high, short this, short this, short this, until we were trending above highs. I never would have stopped out, especially when we see buyers in control here in the consolidation of volume, and we see a downside MAC. And you can look at some of the other indicators like VIX here, which I love to use, even though it's kind of been dead since O days, but we are still close to the -1 5-day deviation, right? And as we talk about that, there is a way to use the VIX and the deviations in the description, or in the indicators we use section. And you can look at the VIX. The VIX has a very nice rollback with what? What do we use? The same exact things. The MAC. What is the MAC telling you? Right here on the 5-minute chart, the VIX is coming to a buy zone. This is a low. What is this? A higher low. So the VIX is low, low, higher low, coming back up for the push. So a temporary scalp off the VIX's confirmation on the MAC right there would also be awesome to watch, to stack your catalyst, right? So for this, maybe we have one more little baby trend back up, and then POC, and then again, whatever it wants to do from there, we just watch the oscillation indicators, okay? So I hope that helps out on my 1-minute scalp strategies, one of many that we use here at Trade Garage and BRT. If you want to trade with us, links in the description. If you want to support us through the Apex trading and you trade through Apex Funded and want to support and you find a quality and in the content here and want to give back, it's much appreciated. So as this trade comes down and collects the bounty of the short that we had just called all the way down to the POC, I'd be out pretty much like right here. Obviously, we're wrecking here on the SPY from short entries. We are up 6.5 points, 6 points on ES as we come back down to these pivots. So hope that makes sense, and we'll see you in the next video.